It's very much a quiet time with work at the moment. And in that quiet, I don't exactly feel worthless when I'm not working, but I do sometimes find it quite challenging to feel valued. You see, our world trains us to measure our worth by what we produce. And honestly, I've spent quite a lot of time in my life chasing that validation through jobs, through causes and different outcomes and contracts. But this isn't really new. Cicero wrote about it 2,000 years ago after being pushed out of public life. He called the alternative to that Otium cum dignitate, leisure with dignity. Well, there's certainly quite a lot of leisure here. I'm still learning this, that a quieter life isn't necessarily a lesser one. And maybe the real measure of worth is not what we do, but how we live. Cicero lived in the 1st century BCE, and he didn't choose to retire. He was exiled, first by his political rivals and then the rise of Julius Caesar. This was a man who once led the Republic, and then suddenly, irrevocably, he found himself without a purpose. He was a contemporary of some really great, powerful men, Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, Pompey. During his lifetime, he saw the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire under Augustus. So being ousted by such men must have made him feel angry, humiliated, alone. And in his letters, you see a man grasping for purpose through philosophy, through writing, and even through his garden. And yet he didn't collapse after all of this. He turned to reflection. He wrote De Officiis and De Senectute on old age, and dozens of letters which outlived every Roman senator who silenced him. Yes, he lost his power, but he gained his voice. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do as well. Not that I ever had any particular power, but for a while there I did work at the top of government, so I know a little bit about the corridors of power and the backbiting that goes on within them. But like Cicero too, I didn't plan to step back from full-time work. It just kind of happened. Almost a self-imposed kind of exile in a place usually so quiet you can hear the wind think. Cicero himself was exiled to a coastal village, far from Rome's noise and power. As I said, I'm not in exile, but sometimes it feels like a kind of voluntary silence. But in that silence, I think something returns, a sense of perspective, a voice that isn't in trying to impress the world, the kind of dignity that you can't earn, only something that you can notice with reflection once everything else has fallen away. And maybe that's what the Highlands are trying to teach me. It's not to be useful, but just to be still. And perhaps in that stillness, remember more fully who I am. Whenever I see these tracks in the fields, I just want to follow them, see where they go.